home to more than 700 languages and dialects, to 17,504 islands, and currently predicted to hit a big bonus demography in 2045. Such an incredibly short description to its amazing country, isn't it? Yeah, but I'm not here to only tell of you some anecdotes of our country, no. I'm here to answer the question of, are we ready in integrating vice diversity as a form of realization of the 5.0 era? Interested with the answer? Then let's hear it. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The noble judges, the noble audiences, in this magnificent opportunity, let me introduce myself. My name is Fadli Zidan Arya Wardana. I'm from SMP Sains Tebuireng, and I would like to express my thoughts in the form of a speech under the title, The Role of the Golden Generation in Integrating Various Diversity as a Form of Realization of the 5.0 Era. Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever heard the phrase unity in diversity? Unity in diversity, or referred in Indonesia as Bhinneka Tunggal Ika, is a phrase that signifies the unity among people with diverse culture, religious beliefs, social statuses, and other demographic differences. This phrase is used everywhere around the world, especially in an environment of nations like us, just to signify that you should not judge someone based on where they come or what other beliefs. When this phrase is used as intended, it will help improving the tolerances and the basic social structure, which will affect ideally the realization of the 5.0 era. But again, what's so important about the 5.0 era? And who are this golden generation that most people meant? Ladies and gentlemen, quoted from our website from the Ministry of Finance, Industrial Revolution 5.0 refers to technological development that continues to increase automation and digitalization in industry and production sector. By that statement, I made the conclusion that the 5.0 era is very important as to help in improving people's quality of life by increasing better access to health and education service, as well as enabling improvement of infrastructure and increasing competitiveness in the global market. But for realizing the said concept, I feel like we need an entirety of a generation in helping us doing that. Who again, beside the golden generation? Dear ladies and gentlemen, the golden generation refers to the generation that is predicted to hit a big bonus demography in 2045. They are the young generation that right now is still at the stage of school or even younger. So, the role of them is to know and learn how to be the basic social structure and having the job to realizing the 5.0 era as the hope of the nation's future. But right now, the question is, how is the condition of the youth as being the hope of the golden generation? Well, it's sad to say, the Human Capital Index of Indonesia is placed as 130 out of 199 countries, as well as our IQ ranking placed 6th in Asia. By that number, our youth is still left far, far away behind in the prospect of worldwide. But I'm not saying that we aren't able in realizing the 5.0 era. No. As a matter of fact, I'm also the part of the golden generation, and I think my generation have the capability in making sure that our nation is ready to complete worldwidely in the near future. Ladies and gentlemen, so as far as my speech goes, well, you know that golden generation is important as our nation's future is in their hand. Now, how do we maximize the potential of the golden generation? Well, lucky for us, I have to conclude 3 ways for us to be able to maximize the potential. I called it as unity. Let's go through the first way, shall we? The first one being using nationalism and patriotism as the youth traits. We going to have a generation that will hold the basic social structure in the near future. Before that happen, we must ensure that they have the traits and sense of loving the nations and interested in sacrificing themselves for the nation's interests. This kind of strengths or traits only come when you have the nationalism and patriotism as your traits. Nationalism is a trait when you want to put the nation's interest above your personal interests, whereas patriotism is the trait of you loving the nation. When the youth knows and use both of them as the traits, we'll have the youth that not only love our nation, but also like to sacrifice themselves for our nation's interests. The second one, implementing collaboration and communication for the youth. Right now, our era is very important to use collaboration and communication. Take example of University Erlangga student team, which were able to take gold medal in the ICTO. This kind of presentation is one or two ways for us in paving our youth way to the worldwide events. And last but not least, is to try your best in every single way. The young generation is known to have a supreme amount of spirits. Now their job is to know how to channel those spirits as an advantage for them to be able to pave their way even further in the near future. Well then, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, various diversity isn't a challenge for us in realizing the 5.0 era. It's actually a blessing in disguise. Our job is to make sure that the young generation was ready and able to take this kind of advantage. But why? Why it must be the young generation? Give me 1,000 old people, I will definitely uproot Sumeru from its root. Give me 10 youth, and I will shake the world. This quote is the answer to that question, and this quote came from the first president, Insinyur Soekarno. That's all from me. Thank you so much for your attention. The last I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.